Hey guys, what's up? My name is Maggie. It is Sunday, still in my PJs, but I wanted to hop on here and share something with you guys, which is really around the subject of connection. All right, this is something that I think is really important. I think it's something that we all want more of, whether we're afraid to admit it or not. We really want connection to ourselves, to other people, and I think in the times of the world that we are now, we have the ability to be so connected to people, with technology. Yet a lot of us are still feeling alone, right? And so I kind of wanted to share this because it's something that I've gone through a lot myself. When even before COVID hit, like I was in a place in my life where I was questioning a lot. Like I was trying to figure out who I was. I was diving a lot into personal development work. I was trying to start new projects and go down this entrepreneurial path. I was, just in doing that, in the pursuit of obsessing over my goals and trying to discover who I was, really started to isolate myself, right? I started to look at other people and go and almost like put myself on this higher pedestal, like, oh, these people aren't working as hard, they're not as serious about their goals, they're not doing personal development, like, my friends, my family, like, they don't get me. I'm different, right? I'm different. And I got into this place where I was at a point, and COVID just exasperated this, where I would barely leave my apartment. I would literally just work. I worked in my apartment, live, eat, sleep in my apartment. I would go work out. I'd come back. I'd be in my apartment. It got to a point where I was really isolating myself. I would say things like, oh, it's gonna be a waste of time, like to go out or drink or do those things. I could be doing things that are more helping me move forward in my goals in life, or doing more personal development, right? And so it got to a point where I was really disconnected. I was feeling really lonely. I was feeling negative and down and depressed. I was lacking. I feel like I lost a lot of my friends. I was not being intimate with my partner. I was just really in my own little bubble, in my own little world. And what I really wanted, and I lost parts of myself. So what I really wanted was to be able to have friends hit me up on the weekend. I wanted to actually get those texts like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Like, we're doing this. Like, nobody would hit me up. And I didn't know who to hit up when Friday night rolled around or Saturday night rolled around, And I was really wanting that. I wanted to be able to have a group of close girlfriends. I'd go out and I'd see girls having brunch together and laughing. I'd be like, oh man, I really miss that. I really want that. And I was wanting that, to have more fun, to have more connection, to have more love and intimacy and passion and acceptance. And I kept telling myself these stories about how I couldn't have that because the people that I was meeting and the people around me just weren't on the same level. Yeah, it was a little bit of a judgmental biatch. And so one day I'm talking to one of my mentors, and I'm telling her all of this. I'm feeling really disconnected, and I'm feeling really low, and I'm feeling really sad. And she basically asked me, like, why? Why was I feeling that way? Why was I cutting other people out? What was happening? And I realized that, yeah, I was creating my own disconnection. I was making up all these stories about myself and about other people and judging them before I even had the chance to really connect with them. I was judging other people, and through that, I realized I was judging as a way to almost protect myself from potentially opening myself up, being vulnerable, being myself, and possibly getting rejected and being judged myself, or being disappointed and again feeling alone. And so I was trying to avoid. And so we made this this challenge for myself that every day for that week I was going to go out into the real world, leave the apartment. Whoa, leave the apartment. Go out, have a conversation with a stranger without talking about myself, and find out what their vision of the world was. And so I did it, right? I went out. I went out, and I remember I was just having all this resistance. Like, this is dumb because I have so much to do. and where I gotta go get dressed now and go leave the apartment and go find some stranger to have a conversation with. And so I do it though. I go out, I go to the harbor nearby my house because I can't be bothered to drive too far. And I'm sitting outside in this outdoor cafe. And I'm looking around, I'm by myself sitting on a bench, and there's all these people around me having conversations, eating their lunch. And I'm thinking, how the hell am I just gonna go and interrupt these people's days and talk to them and find out about their vision of the world? Like, this is dumb. I don't have time for this. I'm frustrated, you know, I'm being negative. And so I get up and put my backpack on. I'm like, this is dumb, I gotta go. And so I'm walking around and I go, but I have to do this because I'm being held accountable, right? And I want to do this, you know. And I see a couple of guys kind of in the distance. There's like an aquarium, and they're outside, in the outside area of the aquarium. And so I go, all right, they're the ones. I got to go talk to them. And I remember walking up, and I look at these group of guys, and I'm thinking, oh man, are these guys homeless? Are they like a part of a gang? They look a little rougher on the edges. Like, I'm feeling a little uneasy, right? So I go to the little binocular things. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. And I go and I start looking through it, pretending to watch the sea lions in the distance. And I'm thinking, how am I gonna do this? Well, I gotta do this because I don't have time. I gotta get back to work. I just gotta do this. So thankfully, one of the sea lions made some crazy weird sounds, and I turned to one of the guys and I just make a comment about, you know, how that sea lion must be really hungry or whatever, something stupid. And I see this grin spread across his face, and he laughs and he makes a joke back at me. And I'm like, okay, cool, he's a little receptive. So I just asked him, you know, what is he doing here, right? What are they doing? How's their day? And I come to find out that this gang or this homeless people is actually, this guy is here with an organization that's taking these mentally disabled guys, the rest of them are mentally disabled, around on these local field trips to help introduce them to or have them engage and interact with other people and become more acclimated to, you know, what's going on around them, and to get them to interact with other people. And then I come to find out that this guy has been doing it for like 10 plus years. He loves it. And he's also in a reggae band. He travels the world. And his vision for the world is to use his music to spread joy and love and fun into the world. And he was actually playing at a reggae festival a couple days later, which he invited me to, you know. And I realized, you know, as I walked away from that conversation, I felt so much joy and I felt so much fulfillment. I felt so much connection that if I had let my judgment of those people stop me from opening up, then I wouldn't have gotten that connection. And that connection is always all around us and it's always possible, you know? And we're the only ones that are creating the disconnect. And I realized, you know, that so often we build our own walls around ourselves because we're too afraid to open up and put ourselves out there, because we're scared that we're not going to be received, that we're not going to be liked, that we're going to be judged. And so we barricade ourselves in our own little prison cell, when in fact we're the guard with the ring of keys and the warden of the prison. Like, we can let ourselves out of the prison cell whenever we want to. And so I walked away and remembered, like, I can't judge people like that, not to make assumptions, and that I can create connection and I can have connection whenever I want to. Now, I talk to the grocery store clerk, you know, I make conversations with people at the gas station next to me, you know, and I feel that connection. It's always there. I don't have to do it every single time because, hey, let's face it, sometimes we're not in the mood, and that's okay. But that connection is always available to us, and that we are actually a lot more similar than we are different. And to stop seeking out and looking at the differences in people and using that as a justification to not be open and to not be friendly and to not make those connections. Because when we do that, we hold ourselves back, and we lose out on opportunities to learn from each other and to have new experiences. And this is really important, right? Because we cut people out based on our own judgments, when what we really, really want is exactly that. The connection and the love and the friendliness and the joy. But we distance ourselves from that, which is sad, because it's actually what everyone really wants in this world, is to feel more love and to feel more connection and to feel more happiness. So that's what I want to leave you with today, is how can we get out of our own heads? How can we release ourselves from the prison of ourselves? And how can we be more present? How can we be more curious? How can we be more accepting today? How can we bring more of the things that we truly want in our hearts? How can we bring more of that to ourselves? And that is what I want to leave you with.